Hello guys, you are welcome. In this explanation, I'm going to be giving you a guide towards virtual estate if you are interested in becoming literally like a real estate but in a virtual format. And we are going to be giving a practical examples and what you should be very careful, very conscious of whenever you are venturing into a virtual estate, especially if you are buying or you are selling a Facebook page. So if you are new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, be a part of my community, and let's get started. A virtual estate is a very important feature because most of the time it is not easy to build a page from zero follower to having probably hundreds of thousands of followers, even up to 1 million followers. And it is also important that you are so conscious of the following guides that I'll be discussing, and I'll be showing you how it is easy to literally sell the page and what will be the flag that you should watch out for. So let's get started. What you should know about Facebook: as far as Facebook is concerned, you have access to creating an account, and your account has all your personal information, your details, your age, your phone number, your everything about you. Meanwhile, you definitely can have more than a page. You can create pages, and each of these pages that you have would have unique information, okay, related to that account. So you should know that there's no crime selling or buying pages, and it is not ideal, and I'm not recommending you should buy personal accounts, because personal account is actually for the bearer, and there is always a verification that you would do by submitting your identity, okay, information. So you don't want to dabble into buying personal accounts. Rather, you want to focus on buying pages. And what you should know is that each of these pages, they have different audience sets. So you need to look at what is the page all about, the brand identity. You need to look at so many information which we'll be covering in this explanation for you to say this is a good fit for your business, and you can maintain such audience, and you can continuously engaging and converting these audiences to your own customer and continue retainment of the services. So the first and most important thing is the terms of service. Selling a Facebook page must comply with Facebook's service terms of service. It is essential to review and understand these terms in order to ensure that you are not violating any rule. There is always community guides, there's always content of your page, and there's always terms that you should consider. So you want to make sure that the page that you want to buy has no flag in that setting. And how do you get that done? If you go to your page, let us just pick a very new page. Okay, let me switch to this page. And if you want to do that, you have to probably have a backup information about the page. So if you go to a page and you ask the seller to just walk you through over a video, and you see the page, one of the things you want to make sure that you are not having any flag is something that has to do with the page quality. You want to make sure that there is no flag, there is no violation. Sometimes some people will tell you, don't worry, we are good to go, but they are selling to you a page that has some violations, and the violation can be issues that has to do with probably community guidelines, a lot of violations. There are different content that you should not promote on the social media platform. So you need to also look at the page quality, that this page has no problem, maintains a standard, okay. And you need to also look at the all information that has to do with the standard and the terms of this page that you want to buy. You need to have that information. Very important. The next thing is you need to look at the ownership and admin rights. Okay, you must be the rightful owner and have administrative access to the page you intend to sell. If you do not have the access to the page as an admin, you do not have the total privilege, the total authority to sell the page, and you do not want to buy pages from people for who really do not, probably they are not admin, they are probably let me show you something here. And under this page access, some people have access to manage certain tasks. They do not have access to the admin. So in this case, these people can't switch into the page on Facebook. They can only probably do some specific tasks using Meta Business Suites or Creator Studio. So you want to make sure that the person has access. Okay, and this is people with the page access. The person must be able to add you and give you access to that page. Okay, let me just look for, let me say I'm just looking for a name. In fact, let me look for, okay, let me pick this name. For instance, you see, you have to give the person, you have to allow the person to have full control at this stage. So allow this person to have full control, and it is this person who can give you full access. If the person does not have the privilege to give you, to grant you full control, no matter what, you are not the true owner of the page. That is the implication. If I'm to give this person full control, then it means this person can remove anybody, including me. It means that if I'm to sell the page to you, you will have the opportunity of removing me and my records and all my details away from that page, or I even remove myself. And the implication of me selling a page to you, removing myself, while you do not have full control, it means that you will be limited in doing a lot of things. You cannot set some privileges, you cannot run some ads, you cannot do a lot of things because you do not have full privilege and full access to the page. So it is highly important you assign people and you give them full access to the page. That is important. The third point here is the brand and trademarks. So if the page is associated with a specific brand or company or trademark, you need to make sure you have the legal authority to transfer those rights along with the page. Violating trademarks or branding rules can lead to legal consequences. So if you are to buy a brand page and the brand has actually have a trademark on the logo or the name or even some of the products, you need to know that buying the page is not going to be enough for you. Okay, you have to buy and you have to have access to those rights too. And except if you are using it for the brand, you cannot just own a virtual product of the brand without having the total access to that brand. So it is important that the trademarks must be very clarified. Then you should know that that content, that page, would your audience that you have on the page, they are on the page due to the brand and the information they are receiving. So buying a page means buying everything alongside with that. Now the next one here is the page URL. Okay, and you need to know that the page name and the URL are significant aspect of its value. ensure that the page name and URL adhere to Facebook guidelines and not in violation of any trademark or copyright. So if somebody wants to sell a page to you and the page has nothing to do with your business whatsoever, you need to make sure that it will not work. That is just the first flag. It's not going to work. But you also need to look at that page name and the URL associated to the page. How do you get this information? If you go to your page and you see on your page name, you are going to see professional. So you are going to see the URL. This is the name associated to this page. Okay, and if you go to the overview, you see the page information where you have details about the page here. So you want to make sure that this page information, the brand URL, everything about this page has something to do with your business, and it goes a long way to help you promote and increase or sustain your business need. So you have to consider that also. The next one is monetization. This is very important, and this is one of the essence or reasons somebody would actually buy the page from the start. You want to buy a page that has the eligibility for monetization. And how does that one work? Monetization is where you start earning money from having access to your audience and having that page as a channel. So certain pages are eligible for monetization through Facebook's programs such as Facebook ads, instant articles. Before selling a page, consider if it has any existing monetization opportunity and discuss this potential with the buyer. So what we are looking at is, if I'm to sell a page, one of the things I'm going to look at is under monetization. You want to look at for you to check the monetization, you need to access your Meta business suite. So let me quickly do that by going to business.facebook.com and quickly, so you come to your Meta business suite and you see under your monetization, you are going to see information about monetization for the page, and that is where you make sure that you have some information that shows that indeed there is no violation for monetization and the eligibility is actually there, and you have opportunities to grab some benefits. There are some like monetization opportunities that you can try. You just need to make sure that you are eligible and the page is literally eligible for that information. So you have to consider that as highly important as it is, because that is one way to consistently make money off your page. So if you buy a page at X amount, you want to make sure that your page has some level of return to you. So transfer of ownership. Facebook has an option to transfer ownership of a page. Use this feature to ensure a smooth and legitimate transfer of ownership. Additionally, inform the buyer of any specific requirements or steps they need to follow after the sale. It is highly important, it is most important that you help your buyer to go through the process without any difficulty, and that includes the opportunity of coming to the page, under the page access, and other information that is important. You make sure that you assign the person and you grant the person the privilege that the person is required, and make sure that all the recommendation, all the the most important thing is that the ownership to the page, the access to the page is completely given to the buyer. That is highly important. So it's highly completely given to the buyer, and you want to make sure that that is assured. So the next point in my presentation here is selling platforms. Okay, let us make it clear that there are platforms online where you can sell your pages or you can buy pages. There are online platforms and marketplace where you can list your page, your Facebook page for sale, such as Flipper or various groups are dedicated to buying and selling pages. You can also just approach people who would benefit from having your page, probably via their audience information that that you have done, where you have built the page, the value the page has, the kind of audience and the kind of return the page gives, and you can sell that. Make sure that you research and choose reputable platform to sell. So the final point here is, remember, the value of Facebook page depends on various factors, including the number of followers, engagement, niche, potential for monetization. So be cautious when engaging in such transaction and consider seeking legal advice if necessary. Thank you, guys. If you have any other points in this discussion, kindly put, and I want to say thank you, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and be of. Thank you. Bye for now.